Good morning. Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. So, woke up this morning a little bit late. This is going to be a very short podcast. I have a new set of duties to do at work, so my schedule may be changed, and this may turn into a nightly podcast instead of a morning podcast. So, this morning I was reading an article about, there's this judge. The judge I believe, was appointed by President Trump. And the judge has declared that President Trump does not have the ability to send the National Guard into Portland, Oregon to protect the ICE facilities. This is what a lot on the right complain about when they say legislating from the bench. In 1994, during the Bill Clinton administration, Congress passed a law, and he signed it into law, called the National Guard and Federal Service Call. Now, this law basically states that the president can send federalized troops into any state that is invaded. Well, here, it's very short. It's a very short law. It is 10 U.S.C. 12406, National Guard and Federal Service Call. So, the law reads, after you get past a little bit of the bunk, whenever, 1, the United States or any of the commonwealths or possessions is invaded or is in danger of invasion by a foreign nation, 2, there is a rebellion or danger of a rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States, or 3, the president is unable with regular forces to execute laws of the United States. The president may call into federal service members and units of the National Guard of any state in such numbers as he considers necessary to repel the invasion, suppress the rebellion, or execute those laws, orders, or these purposes shall be issued through the governors of the state, or in the case of the District of Columbia, through the commanding general of the National Guard of the District of Columbia. So, there are some provisions where they changed it and made it that are not really relevant to this. But the idea that a judge can come in and say that the President of the United States does not have the ability or the right or the power to send troops into a state that has declared itself a sanctuary state, in a city that is within a sanctuary state that is a sanctuary city, is ridiculous. The state has declared that they are not going to enforce immigration laws. At that point, they gave the president the outright power to carry out the federal enforcement of the law. This isn't really about whether the president has these powers. As I just read to you, the law is very self-evident. In 1994, this power was given over to the president. So this isn't even a matter of, does he have the power? He has the power. This is a judge saying, no, you can't do that. And that's not cool. We don't need legislatures. We don't need judges legislating from the bench. If she wants to throw the law out, hey, give it a shot. It's very disturbing to me that the judges can pull this kind of shenanigans. Whether this law should be part of our legislation, that's a different debate. But if we're going to do that, do it the right way. What she said is it doesn't rise to the level that he needs to enforce the law. In other words, a sanctuary city, a sanctuary state has the right to say, we're not going to enforce these set of laws, and we're not going to allow the federal government to enforce these set of laws. So, this is what this law is about. If you're not going to allow the federal government to enforce it, well, then the federal government's going to bring in the National Guard, and they're going to enforce it. That's really all I got this morning for commentary today on the news going on. I find it disturbing that the judges have this kind of ability to do this sort of thing. I certainly hope that this is overturned. We don't need instability in our law system. It's wrong for a judge to legislate from the bench. If she wants to be a legislature, I suggest running for Congress. It's Monday, October the 6th. I start my new little extra duties today with another driver I'll be training today. I'm looking forward to this stage in my life, this part of my career. It's not something. None of the duties are anything new to me. Things that I haven't done in the past. I've done all this in the past, but not with this company. This is a company that I've really come to appreciate a lot, and not making. Like I've said before, I have made much more money at other companies, but money's not everything. You have to do something and work for someone that you really like. And if you don't, you're going to be miserable. And I'm not miserable. I'm a very content citizen and employee right now. Anyway, it's Monday. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I hope that you all go out and have a monstrously wonderful Monday. I can't think of an M word. I hope you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, ciao.